Hey guys, how's it going? It's Janie over here at Janie Sweets, and in this episode I'm coming at you with a recipe for how I make this caramel sauce from scratch. This is an extremely easy recipe and you only need a few ingredients, so if you want to learn how I make this, keep on watching. So to begin, I have a pot on a stove, and to that I'm going to add in 1 cup of sugar, turn on my heat, and add a 1/4 cup of water. And that is it, you guys. That's all you need for the base recipe. So you're just gonna let this come to a boil. Now notice that I've just shaken the pot. I'm not going to take a spatula or a spoon or anything like that to stir it. Once these 2 ingredients are in the pot, you let it be. Don't touch it, don't shake it, don't smell it, don't look at it, don't breathe near it. I'm just kidding, but seriously guys, you don't want to disturb this while it's boiling because you risk forming crystals in your sugar and you're going to ruin your final product. So just kind of eyeball it and let it come to a boil. Now you see how the bubbles have increased and they're also more frequent, and this is how you want it to go for about 10 minutes or until you've reached the desired darkness that you want in your caramel. The darker the caramel, the more flavor it will have, but you also don't want to burn it, so it's a fine line. So it takes a little bit of practice to know when it's exactly ready or when you like it, but you'll know it once you can start smelling it. So once that is there, you turn off your heat and you just give it a quick stir to remove all the bubbles on the surface, and then you can start cutting up your butter and then placing it into your mixture. Now the butter is at room temperature, but it's not necessary. It could also be cold butter or warm butter, it doesn't matter. I mean, you don't want it melted, but it could be warmer or colder. It hasn't really made a difference, I don't find, in my caramel. So you just want to place it in there and then stir it with your whisk, and then add in your heavy cream. Now the heavy cream is actually hot. I have placed it in the microwave to heat it up before I added it to my caramel, just so that it doesn't create like that huge explosion effect that you see whenever people make caramel. And then I'm also going to add in a little bit of vanilla, but that's optional. You don't have to add that. And that is it. Your caramel is done. You can store it in a mason jar. This is my preferred way to store it, but really any other container that has a tight lid will do. You could store this in the refrigerator, or you can store this at room temperature. And this is how it will look like if it's stored at room temperature, which is my preferred method. But I also have a batch in the refrigerator if I wanted to use it for thicker fillings or stuff like that. So if it's in the refrigerator, it'll get thicker. If it's outside, it'll just stay thin, so you can pour on ice cream or other stuff like that. So this is it, you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. As always, if you check out my last video, you can do that by clicking on this annotation right over there. All of my socials are at Janie Sweets. I am on Instagram as well as on Facebook. Subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss out on any of my other videos. That is it for this week's tutorial, guys. I love you. I'll talk to you next time.